Okay, good evening. We're back with First Chronicles, chapter 27. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Military commanders and divisions. This is the list of Israelite generals and captains and their officers who served the king by supervising the army divisions that were on duty each month of the year. Each division served for 1 month and had 24,000 troops. Jashobim, son of Jabadil, was commander of the 1st Division, which was on duty during the first month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. He was a descendant of Perez and was in charge of all the army officials for the first month. Dode, the descendant of Aoa, was commander of the 2nd Division, which was on duty during the second month. There were 24,000 troops in his division, and Mikloth was his chief officer. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was priest. The priest was commander of the 3rd Division, which was on duty during the 3rd month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. This was when Benaiah was who commanded David's elite military group known as the 30. His son Amizabad was his chief officer. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was the commander of the 4th Division, which was on duty during the 4th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Asahel was succeeded by his son Zebediah. Shammah, the Israelite, was commander of the 5th Division, which was on duty during the 5th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Ira, son of Ikish, was was commander of the 6th Division, which was on duty during the 6th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Helez, a descendant of Ephraim from Pelon, was commander of the 7th Division, which was on duty during the 7th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Sibaka, a descendant of Zerah from Husha, was commander of the 8th Division, which was on duty during the 8th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Abiezer from Anathoth in the territory of Benjamin was commander of the 9th Division, which was on duty during the 9th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Maharare, a descendant of Zerah from Netopha, was commander of the 10th Division, which was on duty during the 10th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Benaiah from Parathon and Ephraim was commander of the 11th Division, which was on duty during the 11th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Helidad, a descendant of Ethanil from Netopha, was commander of the 12th Division, which was on duty during the 12th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Leaders of the tribes. The following were the tribes of Israel and their leaders. Tribe Reuben, leader Eliezer, son of Zikra. Tribe Simeon, leader Shephatiah, son of Makkah. Tribe Levi, leader Heshaba, son of Kemuel. Tribe Aaron, the priest, leader Zadok. Tribe Judah, leader Elihu, a brother of David. Tribe Issachar, leader Emery, son of Michael. Tribe Zebulon, leader Ishmaiah, son of Obadiah. Tribe Naphtali, leader Zeramoth, son of Azriel. Tribe Ephraim, leader Hosea, son of Aziah. Tribe Manasseh West, leader Joel, son of Bediah. Tribe Manasseh East, leader Iddo, son of Zechariah. Tribe Benjamin, leader Jaziel, son of Abner, and tribe Dan, leader Azriel, son of Jeram. These were the leaders of the tribes of Israel. When David took his census, he did not count those who were younger than 20 years of age, because the Lord had promised to make the Israelites as numerous as the stars in heaven. So Joab began the census but never finished it because the anger of the Lord broke out against Israel. The final total was never recorded in King David's official records. Officials of David's kingdom: Azamaveth, son of Adil, was in charge of the palace treasuries. Jonathan, son of Uzzah, was in charge of the regional treasuries throughout the towns, villages, and fortresses of Israel. Israel, son of Kalub, was in charge of the field workers who farmed the king's lands. Zimeah from Ramah was in charge of the king's vineyards. Zabadi from Shephren was reasonable for the grapes and the supplies of wine. While Hanan from Gitter was in charge of the king's olive groves and sycamore fig trees in the foothills of Judea. Joash was responsible for the supplies of olive oil. Sorry if I pronounce all these wrong, from Sharon was in charge of the cattle of the Sharon plain. And Shaphat, son of Adai, was responsible for the cattle in the valleys. Obil, the Ishmaelite, was in charge of the camels. Jeediah from Meronoth was in charge of the donkeys. Jaziz, the Hagarite, was in charge of the king's sheep. All of the officials were overseers of the king David's property. Jonathan, David's uncle, was a wise counselor to the king, a man of great insight and a scribe. Jalil, the Hecamonite, was responsible to teach the king's sons. Ahithophel was the royal advisor. Husha, the Archite, was the king's friend. Ahithophel was succeeded by Jehoiada, son of Benah, and by Abiathar. Joab was commander of the Israelite army. Okay, and tomorrow I'll be back with chapter 20.